and then you'll be right there for a deer capture project to move live whitetail across the state for restocking purposes. And then we'll follow young Justin McKelvey to far west Texas for his first antelope hunt. So kick back, get your feet up, and get ready for a higher level of hunting television entertainment. It's what we dream of, whether we're on a season lease, package hunt, or a lucky invite. These are the bucks deer hunters wait all year to see. As time goes on, we realize that bucks like these don't just happen by accident.
You just don't automatically make big bucks. I might even go as far as say they're just a gift from God that happens every once in a while, like an oil well or something, you know, that you don't have any control over. The battery's not too high.
Gene Reiser grew up in South Texas. He's seen his share of big whitetail bucks while hunting the thick brush along the Nueces River bottoms. Gene's also seen what happens to people when they spot a Boone and Crockett buck. So when it came time for him to operate the family ranch, Gene began a breeding program that's become one of the most successful in South Texas.
It's such a slow process. If a deer doesn't really show you what his potential might be until he's 3, and then really doesn't develop till he's 5, think how long that is.
To have an operation like Gene's, you must first apply for a scientific breeder's license from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. The buck is the key to the whole operation, and this one is the boss. Meet Jesse. From this breeder pen, his unbelievable genetics for drop tines are passing down from generation to generation to his offsprings every single year.
He's normally the boss.
And what was it about him that made you want to get him?
Double drop time.
He was already double drop. How old was he?
3 years old.
He's how old?
3 years old.
3 years old.
And these deer in the pens, grew up in the pens, been here all their life, they're just as wild as they can be. You'll just have the few individuals that act gentle and respond to people, but most of them are crazy as they can be.
It's become big business producing big bucks, a cash crop whose profit margin passed up cattle a long time ago. South Texas ranchers nowadays can sell does bred to selected bucks in pens and have their offsprings ready to be released into the wild for future years. Actually, it's a positive management program for better bucks down the road for your kids. Another way to improve the genetic potential on a ranch is to cross gene pools. This means to bring in a bloodline from a different area to cross with your local genetics. In order to do this, you must first apply for a trap and transport permit from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. You must first have an approved management plan in order to qualify for this permit. And then roundup time takes on a whole new meaning. It's dangerous, but very, very effective. The first step in transporting whitetail is capture. Capture that is as gentle as possible. Whatever happens needs to be quick and effective to cut down on stress levels among the deer. Chopper pilots who capture deer in the South Texas brush country are the best in the air. There's no room for error when you're racing, dodging, ducking, and dancing in midair. Ground crews work fast to secure the deer captured and get them loaded safely for the transport. A couple of counties over, in another part of the South Texas brush country, a different type of capture is in the works. An entire deer herd is captured under the net. Ground crews and biologists here scurry to hold the deer for proper ear tagging. It's a cumbersome job, but it has to be done in minutes to ensure the health of the animals.
Coming the other way.
Let's let him go.
Go! Go! Watch it! Whoa! How fast did he
Oh, man. All right,
let's get her.
This one's on top of it.
There's no guarantee any of these bred does are carrying Boone & Crockett genetics, but there's no better chance anywhere in the world. And ranchers serious about their deer hunting operations are willing to take that gamble. Does captured and processed under this net are loaded into a dark trailer which calms them down. It's a hot, dusty job, but it's just another day at the office for wildlife biologists and game managers wanting to cross their gene pools for bigger and better bucks. After the long trip to their new home range, the doors are carefully opened, and following an awkward pause, the next chapter in deer management bolts out of the door and disappears into the brush. It's at this point that ranchers and sportsmen both realize that years from now, at a lonely stock tank or dim sendero, a record book buck may slowly appear from the brush. It's the second day of pronghorn season in West Texas. Between Marfa and Alpine, Texas is some of the flattest, most barren country anywhere. Editor of the Journal of the Texas Trophy Hunters magazine, Horace Gore, has been summoned to help guide 10-year-old Justin McKelvey on his first antelope hunt. It's Horace, Justin's dad Lynn, landowner Ozzie Barrett, plus Mom's here too. That's plenty of tag-alongs, maybe too many for a pronghorn hunt. But this hunt actually started months ago.
Number 45, 46, now 7, 47, 4700, number 47, now 8, number 48, number 47, now 8.
Operation Game Thief, truly one of the worthiest of causes. For those who truly value the outdoors, there are few other more valiant efforts protecting landowners, sportsmen, and wildlife itself. Game wardens have the toughest, and some say the most dangerous jobs in law enforcement, and they need our support. This banquet and charity auction will raise money to help fund efforts to protect Texas from poachers and scumbags who ignore responsible use of our wildlife resources. We have been forced to police ourselves, and every person in this room realizes this. And every person who hunts and fishes owes these people a big round of applause.
100, 800, now 9, 900, now 1.
It's through this auction that money raised becomes reward money for turning in the illegal harvest of game. Everything from baseball bats to paintings, and even trophy hunts are auctioned here tonight. And the McKelveys are here bidding on a pronghorn hunt for their 10-year-old son.
Mark and Ozzie Barrett have offered a first-class pronghorn antelope hunt on the Barlight Ranch between Alpine and Marfa.
We really just wanted to purchase something, and it was Lynn's idea. And of course, you know, I'm like, what are you doing? I see him over there bidding, and the bidding is getting higher, and I'm saying, what are you doing? And he goes, oh, this is going to be great.
1200, 15, 1500, I got 12, bid, 15.
We just got really caught up in the moment, and I don't know how high he would have bid, but he was just determined. I could tell by the time he got into it, he was going to buy that hunt.
Sold it, $2,100.
And he did.
Thank you, sir.
I've hunted my share of pronghorn. I want some other people to hunt pronghorn, especially young people. Bring them into the hunting fraternity. I mean, they need to hunt, and pronghorn is a fine animal to hunt. That's big country, ain't it?
It's hard to tell who's keyed up the most, Justin, his mama, or his daddy. Ozzie Barrett donated this hunt to the auction, and Ozzie has specified that a youngster must be the hunter on this pronghorn hunt.
Load up, buddy.
It's getting late, and a desert storm threatens to call off this hunt. Then the group spots a pronghorn they may be able to reach.
Justin, now don't move this at all. Just look through the hole.
I was watching him from the pickup, and I just didn't know if he was going to be able to shoot it or not. They were all telling him what to do, and there were so many people telling him what to do, I wasn't sure he was even going to be able to shoot anything.
Put your rifle, put it up a little higher, like right up in there, looking like that right there. Can you hold it? Put the safety off. There you go. Kick it out. There, put another one in. He hit him, he got it. He hit him.
It's hard to have to shoot with that many people expecting you to perform.
I like it. I like to take a youngster, 12, 15-year-old boy or girl. I like to see them shoot doves. I like to see ladies hunt because to me, regardless of what some of the folks in our country think, I think hunting is a heritage that we need to enjoy, we need to support it, and we need to uphold our right to be hunters.
Look, you got on both sides, Roy.
Mm-hmm.
This one's going on the wall of the McKelvey's house forever. Justin's first pronghorn and the excitement of the moment is contagious. His dad can't stand it. He's got to shoot his first pronghorn here too. So dawn breaks the following morning, and Lynn spots a nice West Texas trophy at better than 200 yards. That buck's not tolerating much sneak, so a standing offhand shot may be the only way to connect with this nervous buck.
He's down.
Once you get out here and you see this country, you just get hooked. And I knew at some point we were going to go home with 2 antelopes instead of just 1.
They use the pronghorn as a barometer for the environment out here in West Texas. And if you've got them on your ranch, you're doing something right, or you're just plain blessed. They've come to represent strength under harsh conditions, patience as they've withstood some of man's mistakes in the desert, and most importantly, the pronghorn, being one of nature's most misunderstood desert dwellers, is a walking example of the perfect mix of quiet majesty and strength. We hope to see you next week for another exciting edition of the Journal of the Texas Trophy Hunters. See you then.